Hi Scorpio, welcome to your March 2018 love reading. It's Raina here. Well, whenever you're in the sign of Pisces, it's great for a Scorpio because the sun is in your 5th house of romance. And Venus can be too. I didn't, look it up before I got here or pressed record, so I can't give you the exact details, but it's going to be around the same time as well. Maybe a little bit before, though. So, shuffling the cards. The 5th house is romance. Okay. Interesting. We got some legal stuff going on. Well, there's a possibility. It might be a Libra. Because we got the Justice card that connects to Libra, and then we got another Swords card here. I shouldn't say another Swords card. We have a Swords card. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Hermit card. And this is about doing soul searching. This is something that implies solitude, not being very social, being more in yourself. This connects to the sign of Virgo. So if there's a Virgo person somehow in your life, maybe somebody that you are thinking about, have an interest in, or somebody that you're dating, then that might be what's going on. But there's that, I do think there's that reflecting going on. And you might be taking stock in something. Excuse me. You may be wondering, what did I do in this relationship? Because I do, when there's a past position of the Justice card, it's almost like there could be some kind of a decision that was rendered, and of course in a love reading it could be a divorce. So that puts you in a state where you are thinking about what happened and your part in it, and maybe you're doing this so that you prevent it from happening in the future. It's possible that some Scorpios are even a little bit gun-shy about a new relationship because of this, where you're feeling like, I just don't know if I want to, get back into that situation anymore, because it's just, I'm talking about like a committed partnership, because it'll just end up like this again. With Scorpios, a lot of times I have to think that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where they are afraid of being abandoned and it happens. But in the interim, there's sometimes accusations that the other person is cheating or just being overly suspicious, always trying to keep tabs on that person, and that can drive a person away too. So it can be one of those things where the Scorpio is their own worst enemy when it comes to love. Not all the time, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. Now, it's possible that there is a Libra person who you've met recently, but you're being the hermit and you're kind of like keeping to yourself. That's not necessarily a bad strategy, because a Libra person is going to be since they're an air sign, they're going to be more detached. They don't want to jump into some heavy-duty thing. So that would be a great strategy, actually, to keep a little bit to yourself and ease into something. What is the card that is indicative of what's happening now is a beautiful card for love, the Four of Wands. This is a card of marriage and a card of a new home. So I don't know if you're meeting somebody that you're already thinking about these things or what this card represents. I'm sure it represents different things to different people. For some people, you may simply have moved house and you're moved into a new house. Another way of looking at it is a fire sign has come into your life. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries person. If I had to place a bet, it would be a Leo for Scorpio. But this person may be somebody that you are thinking more seriously about. I mean, I'm sure that if you were married before, you thought seriously about them, but you may have spent some time. The Hermit card may mean that you've spent a long time being alone. And now you finally met somebody that you can actually see spending the rest of your life with. And they may also happen to be a fire sign person, or they have a very, you know, prominent fire sign, like a rising sign, that gives them a passionate image, or the way that they project themselves. The higher message is the Ten of Wands. I think I got this in the same position for Pisces, not sure. But this is an interesting thing. I think I said something, what I'm going to say, similar to you that I said to Pisces. Although with Pisces, there is that martyrdom that is so associated with that sign. But I could see also with Scorpio, it would be more on the level of when you are in the early stages of a relationship, Scorpio, are you the one that tends to call the other person more than they call you? Make the plans, yada, yada. If so, that means the Ten of Wands to you is that you put too much energy out for too little return. Okay? And also, actually with the Ten of Wands, it's a question too of taking on more responsibility than you should for the situation at hand. So in this case, believing that it's your responsibility to be the instigator and kind of keep the relationship alive. And so if that has been a pattern in past relationships, ask yourself, how have those relationships worked out? And maybe if you have a new relationship now, you should observe the other person's interest levels. So you call them, ask them how they're doing, and they may have a conversation with you. You hang up, and you wait for them to call you. I said hang up like it was a landline or something. But you wait for them to call you, and you don't just like constantly chase someone and try to get them to be in a relationship with you and go out with you. You are able to let them come to you as well. And that's how you tell whether or not they're really invested in the relationship or not. That might be a good way of kind of shifting an old pattern. The challenge is represented by the Moon card. This card connects to Pisces. I would also connect it to Cancer, because the Moon actually rules Cancer. As a challenge card, this can mean many things. If you have gotten involved or you met somebody, maybe you're in the early stages of it and you're already thinking, this is the person I could see marrying and stuff, but you really don't know this person very well, the Moon card suggests that there may be more that you're going to find out about this person. So you need to just be moderate, don't go overboard, and get to know this person as well as possible. The other thing too about this card is it can indicate addiction as well as delusion. So if you or another person, or the other person that you're dealing with, has an addictive pattern, and I'm talking specifically here of substance abuse. If like maybe that's what their secret is that they have a problem with you know, substances. You may have gotten attracted. You may be attracted to somebody who is not capable of having the type of relationship that you want. Now, as this card, the spiritual message suggests, unless you want to take on the responsibility for their life as well. So anybody who doesn't seem like they have their life together, who seems like they have problems, don't be tempted to get involved with them just to have a relationship, or so that you can feel a sense of control because you are the one who is stable, you're healthy, you're this, you're that. Well, not really. If you get involved with somebody who has problems, it means you really don't want to be in an adult relationship. You really want to be, you're more interested in the power that you have over this person than the actual relationship. But also, the other part of this is that when you get involved with somebody like this, you really can't have that communication. You can't have that intimacy when somebody has those problems or addictions or what have you. And the other thing is, don't lie to yourself. I would say that about the Moon card. That might be a challenge where you are pretending that this person is other than what they really are. And, you know, there are some things that I look at when I do a private reading where I can see where people have the tendency to kind of lie to themselves, and that keeps them stuck in these relationships that aren't going anywhere. But you know what? If a relationship isn't going anywhere and you finally like just say goodbye to that person, that's not that big of a deal. But if it's something that's destructive, that ends up taking you down with it, that's when it gets serious. I mean, that's when it gets really bad. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about you get involved with somebody that you decide, it's no big deal. You know, it's really something that is quite serious. You know, when people lie to themselves. What is coming in, or the advice, is the Knight of Swords. So this can either mean that you need to just be very straightforward in your communications, maybe with another person. If you've already gotten involved in a relationship and you realize after the fact, maybe something does come out and you realize, oh wow, you know, this is not going to work out. Instead of just like letting it drag on, that you just say, I don't think that we're really compatible, and it's no big deal. You know, you don't make a big deal out of it. This could be the person that comes into your life. They will have a tendency to have fire and air element in their nature. So they're going to be very blunt. They're going to be passionate about their beliefs, but maybe very strident, where they're trying to push them onto other people. You know, kind of a fanatical vibe. And yet you may find yourself very stimulated by such a person. This can also mean that the Knight of Swords is right below that Justice card. So this could be talking about some sort of lawyer that you're dealing with. The Knight of Swords can be a lawyer. And I'm not just talking about a date's profession. I mean, you could be consulting a lawyer. It may have to do with a marriage that maybe the Justice card in the top left isn't the actual verdict. Maybe you wanted justice because of a relationship that was unfair, and now you're actually seeking it legally. And the outcome is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is a card of financial wherewithal, a sense of financial affluence, and this can indicate family money. So if you have been dealing with some sort of divorce, this could indicate that you're going to get your portion of it. Maybe you were worried about that, and that kind of has kept you out of the dating scene because you're just focused on getting what's yours. Remember that Scorpio rules the 8th house of other people's money. So this is kind of like part of your whole makeup is maybe benefiting from other people's resources during your lifetime. But it can also indicate inheritance and help from your family. A family business, for instance. You may be involved in that. But whatever is going on, I think that if you're getting away from a former relationship, you have that sense of financial stability. It's right above that. It's right below that Four of Wands. So maybe that was you worried about losing the home during a divorce proceeding. And that would indicate that, no, you do retain it. But the point being that you may be in a transitional state right now, or the people for whom this reading is most resonant, and yet you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. Imagine if you were by yourself and you were just getting by, or you couldn't get by. This is about getting by and then some, and having a lot of money at your disposal to go on with your life. So anyway, Scorpio, I hope that you enjoyed this. I know that wasn't very romantic, but sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. What can I say? It's a monthly reading. If you'd like a private reading, and a private love reading incorporates your natal chart, which means that your rising sign can be anything, and looks at some of the transits for your love life too. Please click on the link below. My website is rainamoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.